Okay.
Hey, hello.
So it's Spanos Kopita Weekend 2017. It's the 100th anniversary of St. Nicholas, and we have guests in town, well, family in town, and Yiayia Johanna is giving her December 2017 tour. We have Uncle Pete driving, Papu co-pilot, Nico in town, Vicky, Nellie, and Kim, Hannah, Elise, Leah.
And that's where the back was a garden where I know we have a lot of
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm still waking up. It's
Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You're on the official
Christina,
video.
wait, there's Emily.
Oh.
Yiayia, hold on.
They see each other. Here in spirit, Peter, Andrew, and Zoe. And the guest of honor, Yiayia Johanna.
Okay, this is the way. Okay, this is with the golden arches.
Yes.
That's where
McDonald's?
we would eat a sagatoo. Anybody know what a sagatoo is? That's what Vicky called hamburgers when she was 3 years old. She called them sagatoos.
Wait.
I don't know if she ate them.
McDonald's Golden Arches.
So that's where we ate our sagatoos.
Well, I remember
He
that.
didn't want water to get wet, his ear, and he would wear a woman's swimming cap. So I was 19, and I was embarrassed to go in there with him with his white swimming cap.
We just passed the white test.
I fill out some papers, but I could type so fast they couldn't believe it, and they all gathered around to watch me. Here at the streets, right here on the corner, right here, there was a cleaners, and my parents were so proud because I got a job for 15 cents an hour working at the cleaners. So they thought that was really cool, and they were so happy to see me working right there where that law firm is. Okay, is this Forest Avenue? Yes. Okay, we're up now, and it doesn't exist here on the right. But here on the left was vacant land. Oh, Waldemar, this is my street. Okay, we have to stop. Right here there was vacant land, and they would have tent revivals. And we would all gather to come and sit here and watch the holy rollers, we called them. And they would hold tent revivals, and they would talk in tongues. And they would go, la, 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 blah, 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 blah. And that's what they would do. And that's what they would do, actually talk in tongues, and we would just be fascinated to sit here and watch them. Right here, that building where, oh my gosh, that's the one.
That's 36.
The one with the 2 stories. We were the only one that see the. Okay, this is where I lived. Stop.
Yeah,
now.
that's it.
And I would live.
see it
I lived
before.
here. We lived upstairs. We had no air conditioning, and it was very hot. And I don't know if you can go down the alley, but in the back there was a little yard, and we would. My parents, they planted anything they could think of to put back there. I don't mean flowers, I mean vegetables. And we had all kinds of things to eat back there. And at night, we would, it was so hot, we would put blankets down and a mosquito cover, and we would sleep down on the ground downstairs. And we would cover ourselves with tent nets. And I don't remember who lived. Would send me home, and then it would count as perfect attendance. Because I was determined I wanted to have perfect attendance. Now here's my school coming up. You see it? What's it called?
Did you achieve perfect attendance, Mom?
Yeah.
And what did you get as your gift for perfect attendance?
Nothing.
Nothing. Got a base.
Huh? Now here's the poem. Elise. I keep saying Lee. I'm sorry, Elise. The gone forest. Now pay attention. Deep, wide forest turned into stone. Bright blue and green turned into steam. Beauty turned around and loud sounds. No birds chirping, just men working. No green grass, only concrete. No squirrels have been passed, not even to eat. Big planes, then cranes creep along the gone so wrong, never meant to be right. It's been so long since it's been sight. Trees sunk and their trunks bees fly to say goodbye. Nowhere to go, no space to move. We seem so low with less to improve. It's all so wrong when it seems right, but just a song say goodnight. And that's exactly what happened here. This was my uncle's, Andy's.
Wait,
what
there's
is-
more.
Huh? Yeah, there's, oh yeah, not now, not here, now being found, nothing would lay here, only blocks filled with things that chopped down our trees. Now this was my uncle's sanctuary. Right here was a little forest, and he would come every day and walk through the forest area here, and I thought it was huge. And I have a picture of the restaurant that I wanted to show you. I want to pass it around. This is the one, you've seen it probably.
Mom, let's see here.
Yeah, let's stay here. My dad, like I told you, Andy died on the streetcar. My dad had to take over the restaurant, which he hated. And he hated it because my mother never learned English. I was 3 years old and I was translating English. They would say, I want eggs over light. She didn't know what they were talking about, and I had to explain them in Greek. And the customers would all stare at me. How could this little girl, about this big, how could she go back and forth to 2 languages? But I could. An owl. We had a pet owl, and we had it in the restaurant and on a stand in the kitchen, and that's what we had. The blacks,
What'd you have?
a Kool-Aid stand. The blacks could not go in and eat any of the restaurants. They were not allowed. So we snuck one black guy in our kitchen, and he would come, and we liked him, and we let him eat in the kitchen so nobody could see him. The other blacks all sat on that curb right there, and that's where I had my Kool-Aid stand, right here on the corner. And I would have glasses. We didn't have paper cups. I had glasses for the blacks and glasses for the whites. And the blacks would sit out there because they were not allowed to go in and eat. So they would come get their food, take it outside, or bring it from home or wherever they got their food, and they would sit there and eat.
Now, Mom, what if the black guy that Papu fed in the kitchen, like what would happen if he got caught feeding that guy?
Oh, I don't know.
Look out.
No, the white wouldn't come.
Oh, then you'd lose your business.
You lose your business. So anyway, all these bars, there were bars around here. We were the only ones that didn't have a bar. So we didn't make as much money as the others. And on Sunday we were open, and John Leoncini, this is George's father, he ran the Sunday school at church. And he told my dad, it's time that she goes to church. He would come over here and pick me up and take me to church and have me teach Sunday school. And I taught the first kindergarten at St. Nicholas. And we had 50 kids, if you want to believe it. 50 kids, ages 4 and 5, with the first kindergarten at St. Nicholas. And I was the teacher there. This is where we made our money. Here's the restaurant right here. Oh, wait a minute, go slow so I can look at it. Oh my gosh. Filoni's Cafe, we hated them because they charged us so much rent.
They were the landlord, Mom?
They were the
Filoni's
landlord
were?
of this building. They owned it, yeah. And they charged our rent, and we were so upset. Victoria, we lived on the other side of Tam Avenue, which was Gratiot School, which is not a very good school. And this side was Dewey School, where we're going to see, and that's where I wanted the kids to go to school. So I lied, and we made up the street that, where they lived was on the Dewey side, so they could go to Dewey School.
Oh.
And that was the hardest thing in this world for Vicky to lie. It was so hard. She could not hardly stand it, that she had to lie about where she lived. Do you remember that, Vicky?
Of course I do.
Huh?
Of course I do.
Of course she does. See there? What does it say?
We stopped here all the time, right? The candy store?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
It's got the,
The candy store, you're right.
yeah, we used to get the bottle, the plastic bottles with the
That guy's like,
juice in
what?
there.
And in first grade, somebody gave me a
What does
dime
it say?
to
Wait a minute. Oh, tattoo supplies.
to candy bars.
Is teaching Vicky to talk English, because she only
I
talked
remember
Greek.
eating tomatoes with Yiayia, Rosie,
You remember what?
Tom-
on the
Grown
porch
tomatoes.
when there was a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cherry tree out back?
Yeah, and the, where's this?
in the front here.
Oh, I remember that window up there. The storm, we had like a tornado, it blew that door open. Do you remember that, Leanne?
Oh, yeah.
And she was a baby in a crib.
Dad, didn't you used to sleep out on the porch?
Huh?
Yeah.
You upstairs, how many living beings are upstairs after Pete was born?
5, 6 with my mother.
6 with your mother. So six people lived in that upstairs.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
only had really one bedroom and then a back porch
Yeah.
where Vicky and I slept.
I fixed the porch.
Yeah, you did the
Mike Malone.
And then Yiayia and
One
Papu,
bedroom
Yiayia and
and a
Papu
back
Pete were
porch.
downstairs, right?
Downstairs,
Right.
and a dining room.
And how many
a
bathrooms?
One bathroom.
Yeah. One, yeah, one.
Yeah.
The house.
Well, Yiayia lived downstairs, and Papu, and then we lived upstairs.
Okay. Job. Joanna was expecting paid within 2 months. I could, in October, looking for a job. I could not get in any laboratory. I was doing anything possible. But I couldn't make the payments, the monthly payments. And my father-in-law paid them. I said, hey, I have no money, not even food. We had my mother move in to help Joanne for Pete because we had 2 other kids.
I had 3 kids in 18 months.
So 28 months.
And then we'd pick up Yiayia, and then Sunday after church we'd drop Yiayia off, and then
Sometimes
and
we
then head
forgot
home.
her at church.
Sometimes we forgot
And
her
on
at
Fridays,
church.
we always knew Yiayia was at the beauty shop, so I could skip school in high school, and they couldn't really call the house and get anyone.
Yeah, Tina.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Serious? My senior year. Oh, excusable.
And then one day, Yiayia used to have a garden. Her whole backyard was a garden, and the way they used to do it in the old days, they would burn the garden in order to fertilize it.
Yeah.
Well, it got out of hand, and it started going to Mr. Lushy's yard next door. So we had to call the fire department. It burned her backyard and Mr. Lushy's backyard as well.
I don't remember
I
that.
remember
No, I
that.
have no clue.
I don't remember any of that. I thought it was just me.